All right. Here we go. Record.
Oh, what a start. What a start. What a start.
Yes.
What a start.
Welcome to the Gamepad Saga Podcast. I'm Eric.
Kishion.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. It'd be better if we didn't see the football game we saw yesterday.
Agreed.
Our nephew is a footballer like us. We were back in the day. Yeah, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but it was just shittery all across the board. We could have executed some better plays.
Yes, they could have. Yes.
Doesn't help the coach sucks. Coaching sucks. Coaching sucks. Let me rephrase that because I heard the last podcast we put out. I was talking about Bugs Bunny being racist.
What?
Yeah, because remember we were talking about.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah. So Bugs Bunny himself isn't racist. I have to clarify this. Okay, I have to clarify this. Bugs Bunny himself is not racist. There was just some things that were a bit.
The writing at the time.
Yeah, the writing at the time. So let me clarify. So I'm not saying that the coach sucks at life or anything like that, or as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know him from Adam, but I will say this. The coaching sucks.
Yes.
The coaching sucks. The decision-making sucks. The dive right, dive left. We're going to get him on the dive left sucks.
Right.
That type of thing. And
calling that 500 times.
Right.
Gosh.
And the whole third quarter of that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Well, I agree with you. They wanted to keep the ball away from the other team. So they just want to run, chew the clock out.
Because that defense was, the defense was not able to sustain another drive like that. It really wasn't. Because they were gonna score if that was the case, and they didn't. And having the ball that long kind of threw them off their rhythm. Thank God.
Yeah.
And then when they did get the ball back, the defense actually held them to a field goal. What did they lose? 17-14.
Yes. Yeah, because they missed the other one, second one. Yeah.
So I mean, it was a close game. The boys did good. They did good. They're young.
Yeah.
We've played at that level, and then you got hurt. And I played a little bit higher than I got hurt.
Yeah.
But we know like decision making is a bit different at that level than the next level. Because the next level, okay, you can make those decisions, but now there's something else you're gonna mess up on now.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things. And it's hard for me to watch football because I've been there, I've done that, and I perfected my craft from what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did it, I've just always held myself to a standard, and who was in the same position as me or on the defense or whatever, I hold them to a high standard. Like, hey, I'm prepared for this. You should be too.
Right.
Like we got to play as a unit. And those boys went out there. They played as a unit in the second half. They did well.
Yeah.
They did well for the most part. It's just, again, the decision making that was made by coaching was not good at all.
No. Then you put a new quarterback for
Oh
your
my
last
God.
drive.
All right, chat in the comments. Anyone who watches football, let me know what you think about the two quarterback system, because this is beyond me. But they went ahead. They had one quarterback. He had the most rushing yards the whole game.
Yes. The other one seemed to be able to run the ball.
Right. And then want to be like, oh, last drive of the game, we can come back. Let's go ahead and put a whole different quarterback in.
Yeah.
Someone who has not actually taken a hit all day.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who doesn't know the rhythm of the game yet.
Mm-hmm.
And now he has to create his rhythm. Everyone's got to be in sync with him. And this man is not wanting to take any hits whatsoever.
No.
None. This man is throwing the ball arid all over the place. Now, he did throw the ball up and they got a pass interference call, thank God. But then the next play, we get sacked.
Mm-hmm. So all that yardage gone.
Yeah. Yeah, even though it's not a spot foul in high school, but still. And then the refs cheated us. But you want to know something? I went home, Dad, and I told Dad, I was like, hey, Dad, man, they cheated us. They really did.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, now, why did I tell you? What have I told you a million times? Don't put the decisions in the ref's hands, because you want to know something? All before that, they didn't execute. They didn't do this. They didn't do that.
Right.
That's on you. And he's right.
Mm-hmm.
He shut me right the fuck up.
Because they had an opportunity, but
they had quite a few. They had quite
a few coaching decisions, kind of.
Yeah. We're not attacking them as men. We're just attacking The decisions of coaching. That's it.
They just want to get out of there. All right. Well, in today's episode, we're going to continue along with our beat 'em up series.
Yeah.
There are a few hack and slashers in there, but I guess you can still kind of call them a beat 'em up. But we're going to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, going to provide a little backstory about the Turtles for the listeners that may not know anything about them. I'm a little biased to the Turtles from 80s and 90s. They did reinvent them. I believe it was
twice.
Yes. What was it? Not Nintendo. Sorry. Nickelodeon. And then who was the other one?
I can't remember. I know Nickelodeon reinvented them, and then another company did. Let me check.
Well, yeah. They put out different
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right. So, well, it shows here, and if I'm not mistaken, that Nickelodeon bought the rights to them at one point, right?
Yes.
But it showed it was like 1984 to 2014 or something like that. That's not right, because Nickelodeon didn't own them then. No, I don't think they were. It was Universal.
Nickelodeon came after 2000.
What? No, Nickelodeon was running in the 90s. What are you talking about? You're talking about Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, when they reinvented the show. Yeah.
Got you. I was like, I don't know. Mirage Studios looks like was the first to do
when
that.
Their comic books.
And 4K Kids. God, 4K Kids. If I remember correctly, 4K Kids does some of the anime shows and
okay.
Or 4K Kids. What am I saying? 4Kids. There you go. They do some of the anime. Look, I'm one beer in and maybe a couple puffs on my pen. I'm lit. I'm lit right now. But yeah, 4K Kids does some anime shows. They do dubs, and
that's what they do.
Yeah, their dub from One Piece is horrible.
Gotcha. So, I have nothing against anything created after the 2000s, but I just didn't watch any of the Turtles after that.
Yeah, you just kind of grow out of situations.
Mm-hmm. But I have been going back and watching all the shows from the original run. Picked up that copy from Walmart a long time ago.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Walmart when they're actually good.
Holla. So Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, they were comic book authors who met in Massachusetts, and they began to create illustrations together. In the year of 1983, Laird asked Eastman to move in with him in Dover, New Hampshire.
Okay.
Kevin Eastman had the creative juices flowing and ended up creating a masked turtle that was armed with nunchucks. This made Laird laugh hysterically, and he blurted out the words, "Teenage Mutant." The concept that Eastman and Laird created took things from superhero comics that were popular at the time. This included the teenage element of like New Teen Titans, the mutants from X-Men, and training and ninja skills that were displayed in Daredevil and Ronin.
Okay.
They were close to having Japanese names because of the ninja theme, but in the end, they decided on Italian Renaissance artists, famously known as Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael. Other characters did receive proper Japanese names like Shredder, aka Orokusaki, and Himato Yoshi, who later becomes Splinter. In 1984, Eastman and Laird created a comic book company under the name of Mirage Studios. They created a black and white comic and created the first issue of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise. And of course, the rest is history.
The rest is history.
The first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game was released on the NES in 1989. I own this game, and I never beat this game.
Yeah, on the NES?
Yeah.
That one was hard.
It was.
That one was hard. So the first time I played that, we were in Merritt Island at the time, and it was before we were out there before they started building houses behind us.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a pretty big fence. So there was these two girls that lived in, well, one of them lived in the house behind us. Like,
Yeah.
It was like up on a hill, so I had to walk up there. And her friend was there. So I was outside playing. I don't know what the hell I was. I think I was chasing dragonflies because there was so many of them. And I was like, we had like this Fisher Price hockey stick. So I'm thinking, I'm going out there trying to destroy them.
Knock
'Cause I don't
them
like,
out.
because I don't like bugs to begin with. So I'm out there just having a good time. Then the girls were like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I'm killing dragonflies. They're like, oh, you want to come play Ninja Turtles with us? I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And so I believe it was just Lamar and Ree at the house. So I went to Lamar. I was like, hey, can I go play with the girls up the hill here? He was like, yeah, I guess. I was like, I don't know them, but okay. So I go up there. Yeah, and it was her dad, the girl's dad, and all the rest of the stuff. So we all go in the room. We're playing the NES game that you're talking about. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This game is hard as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't it was really hard. It's really hard to remember like how the game was, but I know it was very difficult because I thought I was really good at video games because I played them all the time.
Yeah.
And the girls were having such issues. I was like, oh, you know what? Let me get this. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I go there, I die too. And I'm like,
Here's a little bit of humble pie.
yeah, a little bit. And one of the girls actually said, oh, I thought you were good. I was like, here, take the stupid controller.
Right.
Alone. So, I mean, that was, first time I got put in my place. Not the last either, I'll tell you.
I hear you. Yes. So I did pick up the Cowabunga collection. So I'm getting another crack at it now.
Okay.
Now, because, I'm not 5 or 6 anymore. So
yeah, it's still going to be hard. We still can't play the Aladdin game or Lion King.
Right.
Because I'm breaking controllers at this point. I don't care.
Let me just put this cheat code. I'm going straight to the end. So Konami did produce a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game. I might just call it TMNT, make it short. Timint. And most of them are based off the 87 TV show, movies from the 90s, and of course, the Mirage comic books.
Oh. Before I go any further, remember when I mentioned about commenting for the chat? So it's on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
I forgot to mention, please go on the YouTube channel.
Comment, like, subscribe.
Comment, like, and subscribe. But make sure you leave your comments in there because we've been saying this for the last, how many episodes now that we got out? 7?
My gosh. Yeah. Yes.
And we're saying, leave comments in the chat. We're thinking like the podcasts have something and they don't. Not that we know of. Right. So go to the YouTube channel. We'll put hyperlinks in the descriptions of the podcast links and Spotify if you listen on Spotify. So go there. And I think Spotify does comments too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I feel like you have to be logged in.
Yeah, you do have to be logged in. You have to be logged in on Spotify.
Probably most of them. They all want your information.
Yeah. So it'd be better to do YouTube if that's the case. But you still would probably have to create an account just because we need to know who you are.
Yeah. Well, I think they're with Google anyway. So.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Fair. All right. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. Sorry.
So we have a Konami era. This is the part that, you all been waiting for.
Yeah.
The TMNT video games.
The good ones.
So the first release was an arcade cabinet developed and published by Konami. And of course, the title of the game was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, released in Japan of June of 89. Then it came to the States and Europe in October of 89. This game did make its way to home console on the Famicom or the NES in December of 1990, and even in home computers in 1991. You can control 1 through 4 of the turtles in the arcade, but in the console versions, obviously, you can only control 2. So in this game, you get to beat up the Foot Clan, also take out Kang and Shredder, just like most of the beat 'em ups that we have talked about so far.
Kang or Krang?
Krang, sorry. That's a Kang.
You said Kang, but I didn't know.
Well, let me go back. Krang. Yeah, Krang.
What kind of name is that?
A weird one. Just a little meathead.
Yeah.
A brain.
Yeah, for the most part, but Krang?
Krang,
Who
yeah.
thought someone was high when they thought this one?
I'm sure back in that time, just for the ideas.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Just
but
like
it all
the
worked
wrestlers.
out.
Cream of the crop, baby. The cream of the crop.
So in this game, April O'Neil and Splinter are kidnapped by Shredder, and it's up to the Turtles to go after them and save them. Donatello has a long range, no weapon, but he moves kind of slower.
Yeah.
His weapon of choice is a bow staff. Then we have Michelangelo and Raphael. They have a shorter range because Raphael has the size. Michelangelo has a nunchucks. Then the leader, Leonardo. I guess you can call him like the mid-range with his katanas that he has.
Katanas.
So the bosses that we face in this game include Bebop and Rocksteady, Baxter Stockman, when he's in his human form, Granitor, General Trag, Krang, and of course, the big bad Shredder himself. So a lot of these names will repeat, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Just like TV show. They'll face them over and over again.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of them for sure.
So the arcade version contains 8 levels, while the NES version contained 9 levels. So the next few games I'm going to talk about might get a little confusing because of the titles of the games being different in different markets. Remember, not all TMNT games were beat 'em ups. The next game is TMNT 2. The Manhattan Project was released in Japan on December 13th of 1991. The States got the same game on February 1st of 92, but it went by a different name, and that's TMNT 3, the Manhattan Project.
Why did they do that?
So I want to read a little blog post that kind of sums that up perfectly here.
All right.
It's from tmntentity.blogpost.com. By 1991, the Turtles Carbon was on its way to Japanese airwaves, so the video games finally got their act together when it came in proper branding. The NES port of TMNT Arcade was released for the Famicom, but with a renumbering. In the West, we knew the release as TMNT2. However, in Japan, since what we recognize as TMNT was released under a different title for the Famicom, they opted to simply release TMNT2 as just plain old TMNT. Likewise, the next NES game, TMNT3, Manhattan Project, was released in Japan as TMNT2, the Manhattan Project. I know, fascinating, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, that's what I said. I was like, huh?
Sounds like
what?
Convoluted.
Yes. Other Turtle games released would boast some new names. For instance, the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis TMNT Hyperstone Heist was released in 92 in Japan as TMNT Return of the Shredder. The Super Famicom or the Super Nintendo game TMNT 4 Turtles in Time simply lost its numbering and was released as TMNT Turtles in Time. Speaking of which, the arcade version of Turtles in Time was only released in test locations in Japan and did not get a mainstream release. Whew. Is everyone caught up now? Because, yeah. The 3 Game Boy games that were also released in Japan, TMNT, TMNT2, and TMNT3, the Turtles make it just in time.
That's insane.
Right?
Kind of sounds like a bunch of Xbox terminology.
Yes. But they were great games, nonetheless. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about the plot of the game. The Turtles are vacationing in Key West, Florida, and they are watching their, I guess we'll say, BFF April.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, her broadcast is hijacked and Shredder appears and ends up taking April hostage. Shredder then decides to pull an Ultron move and have the entire borough of Manhattan float in the sky. Shredder then calls out the Turtles to come to his lair and take him on. So just like with other early beat 'em ups, pretty simple, straightforward plots.
Yeah.
Like, hey, get over here.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, what's that queen from Battletoads that we did?
Oh,
Queen Bee or whatever?
Queen, evil. I was going to slip my mind. I think it was just the evil queen.
The evil queen. That bitch would never die. She would never die, just like Shredder. This bitch will never die. What? Come on now.
I'll look at 8 levels to conquer. The bosses that you are facing The bosses that you face are Dirtbag, Ground Chuck, Slap, Leatherhead, Bebop and Rocksteady, Toka, Razor, yeah. And of course, Krang and Shredder.
No, Dirtbag. Get out of here. I call everybody else a Dirtbag. I didn't know there was even a character by the name of Dirtbag.
Yes.
That's funny.
So now we are, let's see, Turtles in Time. It's developed and published by Konami and released in the arcades on September 18th of 91. And then we got Turtles in Time 4, TMNT 4, Turtles in Time, which was released or ported to the internet, SNES in 1992, released in Japan on July 24th of that year, and in the States of August of that year. So in this installment, the Turtles are checking out another April O'Neil news report in front of the Statue of Liberty. Krang is in his gigantic android body, and he appears on screen in the background and proceeds to seal the Statue of Liberty. Next, Shredder can be seen taunting the Turtles on the TV. As the Turtles make their way through the game, they are sent through a time warp. In order to get home, they must fight through various time periods and, of course, defeat Shredder and Krang. So this one, I was playing it the other day. I thought it was pretty cool how, because this is when you can throw enemies to the screen.
Wait, this is Turtles 4, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Turtles 4.
Because you had to throw them at Shredder. I don't know. I thought it was cool for that time.
So I believe
that transition.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the arcade version did not have that, but the Super NES version did.
You are correct.
Yes. Did you say that? Did you state that?
No.
Okay. I was going to say. I was like, did I miss something here? But yeah, I think that was the case. I remember me and Steve were playing that like sometime last year or something like that. And we were like, something's missing in this game. Mm-hmm. So there's actually a boss fight or two that's missing from the arcade
between
and
the
Super
arcade
Nintendo.
Yes.
But yeah, it was interesting. And that also came out on the Sega Genesis, if I'm not mistaken. That played a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was the same premise, but the layout of the levels were different, and there were actually different levels in the game, along with similar levels from the arcade and the Super Nintendo.
One other thing that I noticed, because on the Cowabunga Collecting has both of them, the Turtles, I'll just call it Turtles 4, or the console version anyway.
Yeah.
When you are in the Technodrome, that has the elevator, or one of the levels, elevator shaft that you go up, but in the arcade, it doesn't have that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes. Let's see. So in order to get home, they must fight through various time periods and, of course, defeat Shredder and Krang. Then we go through 10 levels. And like we just said, let's see. In the arcade version, you take on Baxter Stockman, Metalhead, Cement Man, Toka and Razor, Leatherhead, Super Krang, and Shredder.
Burn my shell at Wounded Knee.
And on the Super Nintendo version, Cement Man is removed. You take on Shredder in the Battle Tank. You take on Rat King, Bebop Rocksteady, and Super Shredder is at the end.
So that was a great game. I enjoyed that game very much. I played that game like 50 million times over, I'm sure.
Yes. It was very enjoyable. And here I kind of tailored off or stopped playing Turtle games at this time. So the next game is TMNT, the Hyperstone Heist. This was released August 11th of 92 on the Sega Genesis or the Mega Drive. Japan received the game on December 22nd of 92 under the name TMNT Return of the Shredder. This was the first TMNT game for the Sega Genesis, released and published by Konami. The game starts out with the Turtles watching April O'Neil reporting from Liberty Island. Then, boom, a flash of light. Not only does the Statue of Liberty start to shrink, so does the city of Manhattan.
So now it floats, but now it sinks. All right.
Well, they're shrinking. Sorry. So now the buildings are shrinking. I was thinking they got a hold of Wayne Zelensky's shrinking machine. Yeah. So Shredder then announces to the world that what everyone witnessed was a demonstration of the Hyperstone. This was a treasure that belonged to the realm and Dimension X. And I guess Dimension X is like the home dimension of Krang. In this game, you get to battle through 5 stages. The bosses that you get to take on are Leatherhead, Rocksteady, Tatsu, Baxter Stockman in his human form, Krang, and Super Shredder.
Baxter Stockman, it sounds like someone I'd punch in the eye for just no reason.
He was I guess you can say the mad scientist, but his character in the original Turtles run.
How did Splinter become himself?
Splinter has a few different origin stories. In the 87 animated series, he is known as a human that goes by the name of Hamada Yoshi, and he is a member of the Foot. He develops a rivalry with Orokusaki, who was just being a hater because Yoshi was better than him. So Saki got the bright idea to frame Yoshi by planting a knife on him so it looked like he was the one plotting to assassinate the Grand Master. Yoshi said, "I'm not down with that." He left Japan, came over to the US of A. Now he is living under New York City within the sewers. He has Renaissance art books and, of course, rats to keep him entertained. Yoshi discovers 4 turtles that have been dropped down the drain. Then one day, something else started making its way down the drain. It was the glowing ooze that had the capabilities to transform any creature who touched it, would take on that physical characteristics of the most recent thing that they have been in contact with. The ooze touched the turtles and Yoshi. Since the turtles were last in contact with Yoshi, they became humanoid and developed sentience. For Yoshi, since he was in contact with the rats recently, caused him to, I guess, become a bipedal rodent. For the Mirage comics in the 2003 animated show, Hamada Yoshi and Splinter are not the same person. Splinter is a pet rat that Yoshi has. He would always watch him train in martial arts and would remember all of his techniques. They both live in Japan, and Yoshi is a member of the Foot, and he is next in line to take over as leader of the Foot Clan. But hating-ass Rokusaki, aka Shredder, does not like that idea and organizes a hostile takeover and attempts to take Yoshi's life. Hamada Yoshi decides to leave to the US with Shredder hot on his tail to finish what he started. Shredder is able to track down Yoshi in New York and murder him. With Splinter on his own, wandering the sewers, he would encounter the 4 turtles and they would come in contact with the ooze, which end up making them mutate into humanoid forms. Splinter would later adopt the turtles and call them his children and students because he would end up training them in ninjutsu. In the 2012 animated series that was created by Nickelodeon, Splinter origin story has him living in Japan. His adoptive brother is a Rokusaki, and they are a part of a prestigious martial arts school. This time, Rokusaki is hating on Yoshi because he is jealous of a relationship that he has with a woman who goes by the name of Tang Shin. This sounds like a Double Dragon scenario. Yoshi and Saki compete for Tang Shin's affection, and at the end of the day, she picked Yoshi. Homeboy was very upset. Saki ended up taking his ball and going home because he didn't get the girl. While Saki is trying to get over not getting the girl, he learns about the Foot and that they were a ninja clan that was wiped out by Hamada's clan. Yes, Yoshi had a clan. So Saki gets the bright idea to resurrect the Foot and take revenge on Hamada Yoshi. Homeboy was enraged. Not only did he murder Yoshi's clansmen, he murdered his wife Tang Ching and then abducted their daughter, infant daughter, Niwa, and raised it as his own. Following the destruction of his clan, Yoshi leaves for the US to live under the streets of New York, hoping the Foot Clan will not find him. And from this point, the same events from the 87 animated series occur. So in 2003, Konami put out another beat-em-up titled TMNT, released on the PS2, Xbox, GameCube, and PC on October 21st, 2003. This game is based off the 2003 TV series. By this time, I was not consuming any teenager media. In 2003, Konami put out another beat-em-up titled TMNT, released on the PS2, Xbox, GameCube, and PC on October 21st, 2003. This game is based off the 2003 TV series. By this time, I was not consuming any Ninja Turtles Media.
This is the cell shaded one.
Yes.
This was like kind of like the darker version.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one because they
That was good?
They came up with that one. I don't remember playing not that one, but the one after that, Battle Nexus. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna get to that.
Battle Nexus. I don't know if that was a beat 'em up though.
Battle Nexus was. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the sequel to the one you're talking to, right?
Okay. Well, we'll get there. Not only can you play as one of the 4 turtles, this game did have hidden characters. They are Casey Jones and Splinter.
Ooh, Casey Jones.
The story mode has you go through 6 stages, and depending on which turtle you use, depend on which boss that you get to take on. So they, as in Konami, really wanted to go through this, or wanted you to go through the game a few times. I'm like, hey, they need to replay our game. Bosses usually at the end of each level, but not always. Oh, yes, you were right.
Battle Nexus.
Yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Battle Nexus, developed and published by Konami.
I know what I'm talking about.
Released on October 19th of 2004 for the PC, GameCube, PS2, and the Xbox. The 4 turtles can be played from the start. The characters that can be unlocked are, I believe it's Kari, Karai, K-A-R-A-I.
K-A-R-A-I. Karai, yeah.
And Slasher, Splinter, and Casey Jones. The story begins with the Ninja Turtles battling the Foot Clan and their leader, Hun, in Orokosaki's skyscraper. But after their victory, Master Splinter mysteriously disappears.
So let me ask this: who calls themselves the Foot Clan? Like that, now you just portraying that you got a fetish, right? You know what I mean? Like what?
Let's see, where did that come from?
The Foot Clan.
I guess it was more of the martial artist type thing.
Okay, all right, I get that.
Let's see.
But how do you explain that to somebody? Like what your job description is? Like, oh, hey, what do you do for work? Well, I work for the Foot Clan. Like what?
I want to say the movie touches on that actually. The first movie.
The first movie?
Yeah, I want to say it touches on that.
Man, it's been so
maybe
long
not.
since I've
Just
seen
more
that.
of the, I guess, the high school kid ditching class and going join a gang, I guess.
So the Foot Clan is it?
Yeah.
Did somebody just, I don't know, just
fictional name,
Yeah, I guess.
They were like, it's just those generic names from the early 90s, late 80s.
Get out of here, man. So after Battle Nexus? Oh,
Yes.
we on Battle Nexus.
We're on Battle Nexus.
I remember
after
playing a little
victory,
bit of this one.
Oh, now he wants to eat. Mr. Picky Eater over there.
Yeah, he just didn't want people looking at him.
Where am I? So after the victory, Master Splinter mysteriously disappears. The turtles follow the clues to TCRI building, where they discover the employees are actually Ultrams. I guess they are an alien species.
The Foot Clan is?
No. These employees at TCRI location. A teleportation accident sends the turtles across the galaxy, where they meet the Fugitoid, Professor Honeycutt.
Fugitoid.
Mm-hmm. Get involved in a war between the God, these names. Triceratons and the Federation. They encounter the bounty hunter Slasher. He reveals the knowledge of Hamato Yoshi, but after a battle, he departs. The turtles then befriend Trex Maxis and Triceraton Gladiator.
I don't remember all that, but I do remember playing a little bit of it. But I think I can give you a story on that one. So I was working at Domino's at the time, the one off North Wickham.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy and Steve came and picked me up. This is a good memory of this game because I was a frequent flyer at GameStop for a little while there. I think we got it for the original Xbox.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, for the original Xbox, I picked it up. It was just because we'd always be with each other like every other weekend. So
right.
We needed like a party game or something like that. And I picked it up from GameStop. Shout out to my current employer.
Holla.
Yeah. Well, moving on. Moving on. Yeah, they came and picked me up, and I made this pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can get 3 pizzas, like $3 a piece, right?
Yeah.
And so I'd be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and just make this pizza. So I made it with extra cheese. I put pepperoni on it. And I put extra cheese on top of it. And I
my
put
gosh.
more pepperoni. I put extra cheese on top of it.
Did
It was
the
great.
cheese even cook? Or
It
melt,
did.
rather?
It did. It did. It was
Okay.
actually a really good pizza. I actually made a really good pizza. I made 2 of those,
Mhm.
and then like I made like a barbecue one or something. I can't remember. So we had 3 boxes of pizza. We had Battle Nexus. We went over there. We had a great
fitting.
time. Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was a good time. We had sodas,
Yeah.
and this is before our lives started going down the tank and started drinking alcohol. But yeah, I remember we stayed up all night playing that. Yeah, I remember Battle Nexus. We didn't finish it. We didn't finish it by any means, because I ended up returning it because
Did you?
because nobody was going to play it after
Right.
that. They were like, yeah,
We're done.
We like this, but this isn't it, you know? I was like, all right, cool. So I ended up returning it. I don't know what I got for it at that point, but yeah, Battle Nexus was a good game. I don't remember the premise of it though, because it's been so long.
Well, nice segue here. So, back on Earth, the Ultrams explain their origins and reveal they have been caring for Master Splinter. I guess in a virtual reality machine, the Turtles learn that the Shredder is actually Shrell, a rogue Ultram. After escaping the virtual world in a battle at the TCRI building, the Turtles defeat Shredder, but the building is destroyed. Later, the Turtles meet Leatherhead. He's an alligator created by the same ooze that the Turtles were created by, and also Master Splinter. Leatherhead has been living in the Turtles' old lair and working on a transmat device with the help of Baxter Stockman. After Stockman betrays him, Leatherhead seemingly dies while saving the Turtles from a cave-in. Interesting.
Yeah.
Might have to go pick this one up and give it a look.
Do you have an original Xbox? I need to
I
get
do
one.
not.
I need to get one.
Yeah.
I need to get one.
I thought about
Third beer, boys
picking
and
one
girls.
up.
Third beer.
Number 3, y'all. So the Turtles do end up encountering the ultimate ninja who seeks to challenge Orokusaki. After defeating him as father, was it Daimyo?
Spell
Daimyo?
Daimyo.
Daimyo, yeah. I guess like
Daimyo.
Daimyo.
The wise sound.
And a friend of Splinter appears and takes him back to their dimension. The Turtles also come across a Zog. He is a delusional Triceraton. And together they defeat a robotic Splinter doppelganger.
Whoa. So Splinter hasn't come back yet? Hold on. We've gone through 3 games?
No. So I guess they created like a robot Splinter to take on the Turtles while they were.
Well, wait, did Splinter even come back in Nexus?
Not yet. They're on their way to save him.
Wait, what?
The Turtles are on their way.
I missed that part because I went to go to get third beer. But wait a minute.
Yeah, Splinter was kidnapped early in the game.
Oh, Splinter. I thought you said Shredder. I was like, oh, what?
It's okay. So later on in the game, the Turtles are transported to a future New York City where they face Slasher again. Then he reveals that he's a Ultram who lost his memory after Shrell attacked his family. And after helping the Turtles, Slasher returns them to their, I guess, current time.
So Slasher has like time travel abilities?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is crazy.
Something we need to go back and revisit. So the final battle takes place on a foot freighter where the Turtles, Splinter, Zog, and Slasher fight the foot, including Hun and Kiari, Shredder's conflicted adopted daughter.
Oh.
Kiari. Yeah.
Is it Karai?
Yeah. Karai.
Karai. Remember, the R's are D's. R's are D's.
That's right.
Karai.
Zog sacrifices himself by grappling with the Shredder into a burning pit. The Turtles escape as his ship explodes, and Slasher hints at another encounter in the future at the Battle Nexus. Meanwhile, of course, Baxter Stockman survives.
Baxter, get the hell out of here.
And his brain is found floating in the river. Where we going?
I don't know. So we left the Nexus.
We left the Nexus.
And we left the Nexus.
So I don't know if you know, but your favorite Turtles, they do have an Ubisoft era.
Oh, no, they don't. Stop. You're lying. You're
not lying. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade Attack. I guess you can say this game falls more into the brawler genre.
Mm-hmm.
Developed by Ubisoft, published by Ubisoft Entertainment, and it was released on the Nintendo DS in the States on November 9th, 2009.
This is why we had the downfall of the Turtles, because Ubisoft got a hold of it. I keep telling everybody that Ubisoft is terrible.
Yes, I don't think the license lasts long with them.
No, I'm glad it didn't.
So this was a side-scrolling beat-em-up.
Company shouldn't last long.
Released on the NES. So in this game, the player controls the 4 Ninja Turtles: Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael.
I gotta see footage of this as you're
They battle through 5 levels to stop the evil Shredder and his plans for domination. So the bosses that you face in this game are Baxter Stockman, Cyber Shredder, a Golden Foot Ninja, Hun, and Kiari. This game features both single-player and multiplayer modes, allowing players to team up with friends for cooperative play. Each turtle has unique abilities and attacks, and players can unlock special moves and combos as they progress.
What's the name of this one again?
They call this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade Attack.
All right, I'm looking it up as we're talking about this. Go ahead.
Gameplay includes classic arcade style.
It's already bad. I ain't pulled this up yet. It's already, you laugh. You laugh. It's
plenty
already
of enemies to defeat, power-ups to collect, and boss battles.
Here you go. The first video I pulled up, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade Attack. The worst it got. The worst it got. Yeah.
So this is
Ubisoft
set in the Turtles universe. Arcade Attack incorporates elements from the 2003 animated series and, of course, the comic books. This installment introduces a Cyber Shredder manipulating cyberspace around New York City. And out of nowhere, a foot soldier who is dripping in gold armor appears.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, the Turtles make quick work of him and find out that Cyber Shredder is from the future. And, of course, he wants to cause chaos.
Future.
But yeah, that was it for Ubisoft. It didn't go back to them.
You know what?
What's the gameplay looking like?
Let me see. I'm looking at it right now. And yeah, this is awful. This looks like... So, I mean, look, it doesn't look bad from looking at it so far, right?
Yeah.
Because a DS game, it's got pretty good graphics for a DS game. But it's like... You're only fighting 2 people at a time. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Well, could it handle all of that action on the screen?
I'm sure it did. I mean, it had Mario 64, for instance. You know how many enemies were on the board whenever you were playing that game on DS? It damn near reenacted what the N64 was.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. And you telling me you can't put more foot soldiers or whomever that they're fighting on the board here? Like, now you just like jump from one. It's just 2. Yeah, it's just 2 people. You're just fighting 2 people the whole time. Oh yeah, no.
I guess that one will be the not recommended list.
Yeah, Ubisoft. Anything Ubisoft is not recommended. I'm sorry. Hot take, but I don't care. Not Ubisoft. They can go kick rocks. Seriously. I brought another burr for you.
Thank you, sir. That's 2. Okay. So now we are in our Activision era.
Yeah.
This game went by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, came out in 2014 for the 3DS. This one's based off the 2014 film, developed by Magic Pockets and published by Activision.
Is this the Michael Bay one?
Was it? No, that one came out in 2007.
What?
Oh, this is the animated version. Sorry. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because they did do an animated version. I still haven't seen this one.
Michael Bay. He did good on that, actually, I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. So in 2014, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game for the 3DS, which is based on the Nickelodeon animated series. The story follows the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as they defend New York City from various threats. The game starts with the city under attack by a new wave of criminals and mutants led by Shredder and the Foot Clan. The Turtles, we should know their name by now: Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo.
And then you go and say the names. You go and say the names.
Just in case. You
Fair.
never know.
Fair. We might have some ADHDers out there.
They're like, who are they talking about?
Yeah, or people who just are completely forgetful.
Yes.
We got you.
So keep them in the loop. They are on a mission to stop Shredder's schemes and protect the city, as always. And they fight through waves of Foot Clan soldiers, mutants, and bosses. They uncover Shredder's larger plot to use a dangerous mutagen to transform the city and its inhabitants into mutants under his control. And along the way, the Turtles encounter familiar characters like April O'Neil and Casey Jones, who provide assistance and intel. They also battle iconic villains as Baxter Stockman.
Baxter Stockman. This man needs to go.
Tiger Claw and Krang, who have allied themselves with Shredder in his quest to dominate the city. So I'm kind of curious, because in the cartoon show, Krang is kind of seems to be like the leader, and Shredder's just the
muscle.
Yeah, but in the video games, they kind of switch it around. But I guess because obviously Shredder's more menacing than a meathead.
I would have to agree.
Mm-hmm.
He is a menace. If you look at him, and he's a menace. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that. Has anyone seen his face? Have we seen his face before?
Yes, they do show his face in the
second movie, right?
In the movie, yes. I thought you meant the cartoons, but yes.
The second movie, is that the one where he got super big?
Yes, where Diesel portrays him.
Vin Diesel?
Diesel, Kevin Nash.
What?
Yeah, Kevin Nash
way.
portrayed Super Shredder.
No way. Interesting. Big sexy, huh?
Yes.
That's crazy. First off, shout out to Kevin Nash. Shout out to him. One of the better big man wrestlers out there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay. That's actually, I never knew that.
Really?
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Never knew. I never knew.
Also going back to the original cartoons, shout out to James Avery, the voice of Shredder, Uncle Phil. Fresh Prince.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Rest his soul. Rest his soul.
I don't know, when I listen to his voice, I'm like, oh, his voice box must be hurting after that.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, evil. It's all, I was like, oh my gosh.
He's probably got one of those things where, excuse me, one of those things where, the people that don't have a voice box.
Yeah.
Probably using something like that, or maybe some type of tool where it kind of makes.
I can see that.
Or even obviously they probably digitized it or something like that. But
yeah, never know.
He had to put his voice in some type of pitch that way though. But I mean, yeah, my voice box would be hurting too.
I would also like to give a shout out to Cam Clark, the voice of Leonardo, Townsend Coleman, the voice of Michelangelo, Barry Gordon, and Greg Berg, the voice of Donatello, Rob Paulson, Michael J. Goh, Hale Riley, Tom Pinto, they are the voice of Raphael, Renee Jacobs, who's the voice of April O'Neil, Pat Fraley, the voice of Vern Thompson, and Peter Renaday, and Townsend Coleman, and they're the voice of Himada Yoshi. Also want to give a shout out. These were other actors for Shredder: Jim Cummings, Townsend Coleman, Dorian Harewood, and Bill Martin. So the Turtles travel across various locations in New York, from the sewers to the rooftops, fighting enemies, solving puzzles, and collecting items to upgrade their abilities.
So when did Ninja Turtles solve puzzles?
Well, where we at? 2014.
Yeah, didn't they kick ass and ask questions later?
You know how they just like to put weird things in games now that are unrelated?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of a Turtles game, but we'll get to that when we get to it. It's the latest one that came out.
Okay, is that Shredder's Revenge?
No, Shredder's Revenge is good.
Okay,
that's a great game.
Oh,
that's a great game. A
Mutant
Unleashed or something like that. Yeah. I did some little research on that one. That's interesting.
Okay. All right. So back to Turtles for the 3DS. The game includes both platforming elements and combat, and each turtle possessing unique moves and skills that the players can use strategically. Almost like a skills tree type thing going on.
Yeah.
The climax of the game takes place when the Turtles face off against Shredder in the final showdown to stop his plans once and for all, at least for now anyway. Because, just like DJ Khaled, another one.
Yeah, either that or Evil Queen, or whatever the fuck it is.
After defeating him and preventing the release of the mutagen, the Turtles restore peace to the city, maintaining their role as New York's secret protectors.
Yeah. So this is kind of coming out to be like a Final Fight / Double Dragon / Streets of Rage. It's kind of almost same premise every game, but just a small twist of the situation.
Different. Yes.
And then I would say out of all the beat 'em ups that we did talk about, the Turtles did have like more diversity in their games, if that makes sense.
It does.
So it's like you had the first 3 that came out, right? Action, adventure, beat 'em up type thing. And then you have the arcade, like 1v1 fighter.
Yeah.
And then you go back to open world, more of a 3D semi-open world type to, back to the regular side-scrolling beat 'em up genre.
Yeah, they jumped around different games. Yeah. But I think also what helped them is they had more of a lore background, I guess. Being comics and TV show.
Yeah.
More of a following. So I guess I don't say they had. Well, I guess they had more to work with.
That and more fans to deal with, right? So any of those situations I even said about those games, there was going to be some group in those fans that were going to love that.
Yeah, like just more popular.
Yeah.
Hey, slap turtle in there. Everyone will love it.
Yeah. That's true.
I'm sure.
I don't, besides the Ubisoft one, I haven't heard of any other Turtles game that people hated.
Right. Well, I'm sure the recent one might.
You think the recent one?
I heard it wasn't.
Did Ubisoft make it?
No.
Thank God.
Yeah, they were like, Ubisoft, we're not doing this again.
Well, I guess we can just touch on it a little bit before we go to the next one. So the newest one that came out was Mutant Unleashed. So it's kind of same thing, hack and slash elements, but it also has elements of Persona.
Does it?
Yes. So it has a day-to-day system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's tasks you can do throughout those day-to-days before you go out and beat up people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a pretty cool concept, really, to be honest with you, because I like RPGs.
Right.
I like RPGs like that. I love the Persona series. I love any RPG that has a day-night cycle.
Progression type thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it progresses in the story. And I don't know if, some games like days mean something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have this odd many days to do this. If you don't, then obviously you miss out on that and the story changes, something like that. I don't know if this one does, because I haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
But I've got the premise of it and it seems pretty interesting.
Okay.
It seems pretty, and that's what I was saying, like the Turtles games, there's always something different with them.
Yeah.
And this is probably by far the most robust change, I think, in my mind, instead of Ubisoft fighting 2 people at a time.
That's all you get. So now we make our way back to May 24th, 2016. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Mutants in Manhattan was released on the PS3, PS4, Windows, Xbox 360, and the Xbox One. Developed by Platinum Games and published by Activision.
Platinum Games is great.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Bayonetta.
This is more of, I guess, a hack and slash game that follows the TMNT as they battle iconic enemies across New York to stop Shredder and the Foot Clan from unleashing chaos.
Which one was this again?
Mutants and Manhattan.
Yes.
2016.
So you want to know something? Game's hard to find right now.
Is it?
Yes.
It's not even on, well,
It's a huge, it's you know what it's going for right now?
How
We were
much?
selling that bad boy for $75.
what?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
we were selling it at GameStop, I think back in 2021.
So how did this game get so popular?
I don't know. Well, Platinum, I think at that time, Bayonetta 3 was coming out too.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Platinum Games is Bayonetta.
Yes.
Let me double check and see how much it is now. But it's a hard one to find, especially if you get it for Xbox One.
Yeah.
It goes for a pretty penny.
Mm-mm.
Let me see. Let me check it out.
So you get 9 levels to conquer. The story unfolds in a comic book style with the turtles. I won't repeat them this time.
No, I mean, you can do, oh my God.
They're tasked with protecting the city from both old foes and new threats.
So I'm not stopping you, but
Mhm.
remember Ninja Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project?
Yeah.
You know how much this motherfucker's going for right now? I was trying to look for the Manhattan.
I'll go 150.
Go higher.
185.
Go higher.
Oh my gosh. 215.
Go higher.
What?
We are looking, that Ninja Turtles 3, we're looking at complete in box, $284.
Jeez.
Holy fuck. That's crazy. Okay, the Manhattan. Turtles in Manhattan.
Mm-mm-mm. So the plot kicks off with the turtles learning about an alliance between Shredder, the leader of the Foot Clan, and General Krang, the alien warlord from Dimension X. Together they plan to take over the city and eventually the world. The world, Craig. The world.
Yeah, top flight security of the world, Craig.
Shredder and Krang send out a series of mutants and enemies to wreak havoc across New York. And it's up to the turtles. It's up to the turtles to stop them.
All right.
Hmm.
So it has dropped significantly in price.
Okay. What are we looking at?
So Turtles in Manhattan, Mutants in Manhattan, we're looking at $26, either loose or complete in box. But if you find it sealed, it's still about $60.
Mm-hmm.
Or graded as new, about $60. This used to go for over $100 secondhand a couple years back.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's nuts. It's crazy how this dropped so much in price.
Right. The roller coaster ride. So throughout the game, the turtles face numerous bosses, including classic villains as Bebop, Rocksteady, Slash, Kiari, I guess Armagon, and Wingnut. Each boss battle is set in a different location within the city, from the streets of Manhattan to the underground sewers, and of course, iconic landmarks. As the turtles progress, they uncover more of Shredder and Krang's plan. They intend to use a massive alien technology to open a portal, allowing Krang to bring his army from Dimension X to Earth. The turtles must prevent this by taking down their enemies, destroying the alien technology, and stopping the portal from opening.
When did it open?
Did it open?
I don't know.
Check out the Gamepad. We'll have to look.
Tune in next time on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
The game culminates in a final showdown with everyone's favorite Shredder atop a skyscraper with General Krang in his giant mech suit. After intense battles, the turtles manage to defeat both of them, thwarting their plan to bring Dimension X's forces to Earth. So it did not open. They shut it down.
Cool. They shut it down. I mean, what if it did? Think about it. Turtles universe would be different.
It would be. I'm sure it would be. So New York is saved once again, and the turtles return to the shadows to continue their role as the city's protectors.
So let me ask this, right?
Yeah.
What universe is this taking place in?
I guess
Let's think about
present
present
time.
So
our universe, Earth.
So I just had this thought, right? And this is because I'm already 3 beers in.
Mm-hmm.
But let's have this conversation. Who else is in New York at this time? Spiderman and the Avengers.
Yeah.
You're telling me they haven't crossed paths not one time?
I don't think so. Let's see. So interesting that the store, I saw they crossed paths with the Stranger Things characters. I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Oh, this had to have been recent?
Yes, very recent.
Really?
Yes. Let's see if they collaborated with anyone.
I know they did some collaborations, but you would think this takes place in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and they live in the sewers, and they're supposed to be Manhattan or New York's protectors.
Yeah.
I guess Manhattan at this point, right? But you're telling me the Avengers were nowhere to be seen?
Nowhere to be found.
You telling me that whole big battle that just happened in New York? I think it was it the first one?
Battle of New York.
Yeah, the first Avengers. I think I don't know.
Yeah, they were in New York. First one.
Yeah, so you're
For the
telling me
second
they
one.
didn't realize what was going on? They were asleep the
No,
whole time.
They were
They
asleep.
slept through the earthquake.
I would say yes. Let's see. Turtles and Batman cross paths.
I'll see Batman and the Turtles across paths.
Mm-hmm.
But that don't make sense. Batman don't kill nobody.
Depends which. Was there a version that they did?
With Batman killing people?
Yeah.
Wasn't it like his dad or something like that? It was a different universe. It was
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne that died. And his dad was like, I'm killing everybody. I mean, I don't know. I think I would do the same.
Let's see. Hey, this looks recent. Oh, comic book. They had a crossover with Street Fighter.
Why is there not a game for this? Why is there not a game for this?
Have they put them in a game?
You all know I'm a huge Street Fighter head.
Mhm.
Y'all know I'm a huge Street Fighter head. You're gonna tell me that there's no fighting game? You had a 1v1 fighter for the Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
and Street Fighter is all but 1v1 fighters, and you're telling me there was no game
Never
that
crossed
had.
over.
Oh, you know what?
There had been a game with all of them.
No, because Street Fighter 6 came out with costumes.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's
Okay.
what it was.
That was their way around it.
God damn it. I thought, man, that hurts my soul. Now I understand. I get it now because I was like, Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter 6? I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize that a crossover.
Did.
That's
Yeah.
actually pretty cool. Beer number 3
I
done,
know.
boys and girls. Beer number 3 done.
Number
I
3.
think I'm good.
You're done. You're cut off. No more.
I'm cutting myself off. Now I'm drinking water.
They did a crossover with Naruto, Ghostbusters.
They did it with Naruto?
Yeah.
Ghostbusters? Man, that's first off, hold on. Well, I mean, they're ninjas, so that makes sense. Wait, was Naruto characters in New York?
Let me see.
I need to check this out.
Someone had to be somewhere. Let's see.
I gotta check this out now. Naruto. Oh.
Yeah, you have to look at that one. Let's see. Oh, this is like new. Like
Which one?
20 Naruto.
Yeah. I think they did it over in Konoha. I don't think they were in New York.
Yeah, first issue released November 20th of this year.
Oh, really?
Or going for release later this year. Yeah.
Well, this is when he was a kid, so this might be interesting now. This might be interesting because now you can get me down to a rabbit hole because I'm a big Naruto fan. So like now you think about it, if they were a part of it, they could have been summoning jutsus.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, Kakashi can summon like dogs, right? So if he needs to track somebody down, like he summons like 9 dogs at a time, or 9 dogs in one summoning, and then they can just track any scent at any point. It doesn't matter how far away they can track it. So I don't know. Maybe they're their own people. I don't know, but that's interesting. I might have to get that.
So I guess, well, by the time this is released, it'll already be out. But
yeah, it's interesting. And he's back to being a kid again. So I don't think there's really been much ever since then because they keep coming out with books, but it's when they're older now.
Mm-hmm.
They've come out with books after the war, after the 4th Great Ninja War. And then I think they're coming out with stuff even like in between what's going on with Boruto at the very moment, which is the next series is his kid and all of his friends. So it's a whole different generation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's all you. I never watched any of them.
Well.
Or read any of the material.
That's something I do recommend you watching. I mean, we'll have to do a marathon if you want to try it.
All right. Sounds good.
I'm down with it.
Sounds good.
We'll make a weekend of it.
Yes. All right. So we are on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, Wrath of the Mutants. This is developed by Raw Thrills and published by Game Mill.
Wrath of the Mutants. This is the latest one, right?
Yes. Came out April 23rd, 2024. And this one is centered around the 2012 TV series. You can play this game in arcade cabinets, which was released in 2017. But now, obviously, they have a port.
This isn't. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it recently came out to a PS4, PS5, and Switch.
Gotcha.
And the Xbox Series X. But it was in cabinets first.
Oh, really? That long?
Yes. So that it builds off the classic TMNT arcade style that features the 4 turtles who must fight their way through various levels. And of course, we have Shredder and other minions, Foot Clan, to deal with. This game emphasizes cooperative multiplayer gameplay, allowing players to team up and utilize the turtles' unique abilities and their special moves. Players can unleash powerful attacks and combos, as well as collect items and power-ups to enhance their skills.
Yeah, I think this was the third remake of them, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't really care for this one.
Yeah.
I didn't care for this one too much.
I mean, that's pretty much that game. Wrath of the Mutants. And then we have Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, yes. Now we'll get to the good stuff.
Came out June 16th of 2022 for Windows, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Linux, iOS, and Android. This is a retro-inspired beat-em-up game that pays homage to the classic arcade titles.
Mm-hmm.
The game features, obviously, the 4 turtles once again.
If you get the expansion DLC, you get Casey Jones, April.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you get 2 other characters that they had, a rabbit, and I don't know who the chick is, but it might be Shredder's daughter, like you'd mentioned before.
Yes.
I didn't catch her name, but I do have the
Kiari?
game. I don't know.
K-A, what did I say? K-A-R-A. Yeah, that's her name, Kiari. Or Karai. Karai. Let's see.
But yeah, I know they came out with what was it? Shredder's Revenge. Warp Dimension or something like that. Here, hold on. Shredder's Revenge DLC. And it was called Dimension Shell Shock. And you got two extra characters on top of that. And the characters were, Mother Sucker, will you let me know, please?
No.
Of course not, because why would they? The new characters are, Karai and Miyamoto Usagi. Yeah, so the rabbit and the girl.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they were extra characters in the DLC, but then you got April and Casey Jones at some point later on, before the DLC characters, of course.
Oh, okay.
Or there might have been playable characters right away
from the beginning. Yeah,
maybe not Casey. I don't know. It's been a minute since I played it, but it's a great game.
It's a great game.
Yeah,
all right. I'm about to pick it up.
I have it if you want to borrow it.
All right, sounds good. And that's all I got as far as the beat 'em ups for Turtles. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got the Mutant Unleashed, but we already touched on that one. So that would be the latest Ninja Turtles game. Other than that, yeah, I didn't play very many Ninja Turtles games growing up. But the ones I did play, obviously, I shared my stories with.
Mm-hmm.
But beat 'em ups, I wish they had more of a presence. I wish they did.
As of now, because early 90s, I guess 80s and 90s, they did. They were a big thing.
Yeah, now they're not anymore.
No.
And I think the balance of gaming, I mean, all of it's open world action.
Open world,
first-person
skill tree.
RPGs. I mean, RPGs have always been around, but I mean, they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Not at all.
But beat 'em ups, something easy, something that anyone can jump into. I know the latest one that they came out with retro-wise was Scott Pilgrim.
Okay.
Great game. I think I knew Game Plus that at least 3 or 4 different times. It was a good game. And then you have this couple of the Ninja Turtle games that came out. Gosh, I'm trying to think if there was any other ones.
But yeah, as time went on, they kind of
dwindled away.
A
lot of remakes.
Yes.
A lot of.
Well, I think that's just more to get the players back to
whatever they're trying to put out later.
Put out later and just get them back current gen, make more money.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they'll love this, so remake it. So that's where we're at now, I feel.
Yeah.
Because one thing, I was looking at, was it Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Came out in 2017, and they already have like a remaster. Like, really?
Thank you. Because I thought I was the only one that thought this. Okay?
Like,
I thought I was the only one that thought this. You know what? There's some games, okay, a remaster would be nice, right?
Mm.
But how many times did Last of Us get remastered? The first one. The first one.
I don't even know. I keep seeing it pop up. I'm like, really? Again? Another one?
It came out on PS3.
Okay.
Got remastered for the PS4. And then remastered for the PS5?
Oh my gosh. I guess everyone thinks they're Grand Theft Auto.
I guess so.
They did it. We can do it too.
No, you cannot. Because Grand Theft Auto lets you do anything.
That's
anything
true.
and everything.
Yes.
Last of Us is just a storied game that we get 20 plus hours with,
Mm-hmm.
and then nothing different. Then we got to play it over again. I mean, you could slightly play it differently, right?
Yeah.
With your play style and everything, but you're not going to bring what GTA does. Get out of here. Get out. What? But for them to remaster games like that over and over again, and unfortunately we buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately we buy them.
Well, I think, did they bring it back? Or was that a different Horizon Dawn game where they did the VR thing for it?
No, so that's different. But they are talking about remastering Horizon Zero Dawn. And we already have Forbidden West.
Yeah.
Why the fuck? Why are we wasting resources to go ahead and do this when the game plays well already as a PS4 disc on a more superior console? Makes no sense to me.
That's what it is.
Makes no sense.
They're like, oh, physical media is going away. They have to download it now. Okay.
Yeah, so it's aggravating for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the other one that if they even think about trying to remake or remaster any of the God of Wars, I'm gonna be upset.
I thought they did.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
They moved God of War 3 from PS3 onto PS4.
That's what it was. Okay.
So they did that, but they didn't do the other. I mean, I guess they did the other one. No, they didn't, because all the other ones are on PS3. Yeah, they're on PS3 and PS2. They're not on PS4.
So one of a game that you introduced me to by Naughty Boy. Apparently, they have a remake in the works.
Naughty Dog? You mean Naughty Dog?
Or Naughty Dog. What did I say? Naughty
What?
Boy?
Which one? you were thinking of Nappy Boy.
It was. Yes.
Which one?
Shout
Which
out
game?
T-Pain. Whatchamacallit? Uncharted.
They're doing a remake for those?
Yeah. Let me see here. I saw it yesterday, actually.
Oh, my Lord. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm kind of excited, kind of not.
Let me see. It was like a screenshot. I think it said remastered and reborn.
If it's remastered, I'm going to be upset. That is definitely a waste of resources. If you remake something, okay, I get that. Like Final Fantasy VII, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care about the story kind of altering, because I would rather it be the same.
Yeah.
But it brings a twist to it, so it's something I just got to be like, you know what, just suck it up and enjoy the ride, right? But Uncharted was a very good series.
It was. I enjoyed it a lot.
If it's remade, I'm cool with that.
Go with that.
If it's remastered, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be upset.
Right.
Because I already own the original.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a remake for it, I'll definitely buy it for sure.
I think when they brought it to PS5, they made it was like $10 to buy the PS5 upgrade version.
For Uncharted 4 or the
4
Lost Legacy?
And Lost Legacy.
Okay. So the Thieves Collection?
Yes.
Let
me double check.
So if it's going to be that, then let's go ahead and hire the frame rates and just go ahead and do all this other stuff and use the PSSR.
Yeah.
Which that's a bit lazy to me, but but don't waste resources on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's hours that could be put into a whole totally different IP.
Yes.
Or maybe a different game.
Yes.
Or a sequel of something or a prequel of something. It just doesn't make sense to me how these game companies think that this is what we want as
we don't.
As people that play games. It's like, no, we want something. Again, I've expressed this way too many times. Good gameplay. Good gameplay. The story can be meh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you know what? We like a great story. Metal Gear Solid. I mean, unfortunately, when it got to 4 and 5, the shit was going out of hand. It was getting out of hand anyway.
Yeah.
But the story from 1, 2, and 3, oh my God, what? Like, that was a masterpiece.
Yeah. They put effort into the game.
Right.
Now it's just,
I
don't know what they're doing.
What'd you say? The suits. The suits came in.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, we want this done. Or we need this done by such and such a time.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing me, I'd probably say, well, why don't you just lick my toes? Because I'm doing this at this time and that's it.
Right.
And you tell me otherwise, I'm just not going to talk to you. This is the last time we'll talk. Shut right the fuck up. But they're going to tell me, well, you got $65 million here and we got to pay you. So do what we need to tell you. I'm like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's kind of what the situation is. But yeah, good gameplay. That's all we need. Doesn't matter what the game is, as long as the game plays well.
Yeah.
We don't have bugs.
Plays well.
Yeah. Putting out a
deliver what you promised.
Right.
Or stated.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the game that just came out not so long ago? The Day After Tomorrow or something like that? Tomorrow's something.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be like a survival thing, kind of similar to The Division.
Mm-hmm.
The game was on Steam for all of 4 days.
Wow.
And they took it off because the trailers were not anything that they put out.
Mm-hmm.
The game was so faulty and just not done at all.
Jeez.
It got so many negative reviews. They took the game off Steam. You cannot buy this game. Same with, what was another game? Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs was another one. The first one.
Yeah.
I had this whole thing. I remember at E3, I remember looking at this thing and I'm like, yo, this game is going to be nice.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
I told you I missed all that part.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But I mean, it segues into what we're talking about. Like just, I'm mentioned again because this emphasizes it.
Yeah, it still continues to today. Yeah.
So it's just like, man, like, why are games like this nowadays? I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get it. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Do you have anything to say before I tell my work? I have a work story I need to tell.
Okay, good. No, I'm good. That's all I got on our TMNT beat 'em ups.
So this is a work story. It might not be as funny because I told it a couple of times this week. No, it's gonna be funny because I can feel myself like dying. So I have a coworker that we're probably gonna have him on the show at some point. I'm sure because he wants to talk about Dragon Ball.
Okay.
And I say we may have like a little special segment where we talk about some anime, you know what I mean? Because games, anime, that goes hand in hand, right? And so his name is Joselo. And I got permission to tell this story, so I wanted to talk with him about it. So please keep it in. Please keep it in. So he was training me for out of department. So we were in MRI and labor and delivery. So we get to work. I'm there before he, kind of on the floor before he gets there. He kind of has this little routine that he does. And so when I found out we were in MRI, and I was like, okay, well, let me call MRI and see what cases we got. So it'll show us the cases. Now, sometimes there are cases that are up there, but it doesn't specify if it's an MRI or a CT. Or it just doesn't say anything at all. You know what I mean? So today, like this past Friday, I was in MRI L&D, and it said something about a renal mass, whatever, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay, this looks like it's in cath lab because it was right under the cath lab stuff. So I go and do my thing. I'm going up to L&D, I'm stocking stuff, checking out dates. Get a call, hey, CT needs to be set up for a 7:30 case. I'm like, where is that on the board? Because I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. And so I go down there. Joselo, actually, thankfully enough, he came and helped me. And I was talking with my AA provider, and she said, yeah, I thought it was in cath lab too. I didn't know it didn't specify what's in CT, but it was up on the board.
How often does it happen for
Oh, that happens a lot.
I figured.
That happens a lot. Where no one puts CT or MRI or anything like that. And it's just like, well, how am I supposed to set up on time when you're not helping me with that? You know what I mean?
Please I did go that extra mile, guys.
Yeah,
it makes it easier on the next person.
Right. I mean, it's only either 3 letters or 2. Mm-hmm. You just put it up there. CTMRI. I mean, shit. You know, like, what? Yeah. Oh, they're not paying me enough to put these extra letters up here, so I'm not doing that at all. You know what I mean? So I get that set up and everything like that. But that's neither here nor there. But that's the point is that you look on the board, you make sure everything's on there, and then what I do is I look on the board, I call. So I called MRI and I said, "Hey, I see you have 2 cases. What side does it need to be on?" And they were like, "Oh, it's on the A side." So the A side is closer to where the cafeteria is. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why I specified this is because I know some of the listeners that we have work with me, and then I know the layout of homes. Mm-hmm. So that's why I specified. So it's on the A side. And so Joselo comes, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, Joselo, it's on this." I'm thinking about this now, and I'm just dying. It's supposed to be on the A side. He looks at the board. And Joselo like has this like I don't know how to explain it, but when he's just his normal look, it's not so much a resting bitch face, it's just a blank fucking look. Like he's so serious about something, you know what I mean?
Just a straight face.
Yeah, just a straight fucking face. And he's like he's looking at the board and he's like, "Huh. Well, these go on the D side. These are cardiac MRIs."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." But they said it was on the A side. And he goes, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure I called." He goes, "I don't know, man. We should go set this up on the D side." So I'm like, "Joselo, you want me to call him back again?" And he was like, Yeah. Call him back and then let me know, please. Yeah. And I was like, because yes, in the medical field, trust but verify.
Yes.
Trust but verify. So I call him back and I'm like, "Hey, so I just called you. I'm sorry, but I just want to double check because these are cardiac MRIs. Mm-hmm. Are they on the A side, or they're on the A side, correct?" Mm-hmm. They're like, "Yeah, they're on the A side." And I was like, "Okay." Hold on. I'm trying to get it together. I was rolling on this shit all day. When this stuff happened, I'm like about to cry. This is how funny this is. So I was like, "Yeah, I just confirmed it's on the A side." And so he goes, "Okay." So he kind of like gave a pause for a minute. And he goes, "This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the stuff down there. We're gonna set it up." Okay. Like I didn't know that was what we're supposed to do. So I'm like, "Okay, like why is he telling me this?"
Don't tell. All right, go ahead.
And then he goes, if they make a mistake and say it's on the D side, I'm not gonna take anything up. I'm just gonna clock out and go home.
He said, "I'm done."
He said, "My man."
He said, "I'm done." Clocking out and going home.
I'm in legit tears because that's how funny that shit was. I was dying the whole day thinking about that. Oh man. Well, yeah. So luckily it was on the inside. Okay, so he didn't go home. Oh man.
See, when you got there, were they like, "It doesn't belong here. It belongs on the other side."
Oh no, because he definitely would have gone home for sure. Oh yeah, that was. And you want to know something? The funny thing is, all the people that work at homes with us that are listening, they're gonna feel the same exact way about certain shit that they're dealing with. It's like, all right, if this case doesn't do this, I'm going home. like fuck this.
I'm out of
I
here.
want nothing to do with this. Oh yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was. I had to get his blessing before we did this, and I did. He was like, "Yeah, you can tell it. You can tell it." I know he got a tooth extracted, and the doctor or the orthodontist or whoever it is cut the bottom of his tongue.
Ouch.
Yeah. So he had been going through it the last few days.
I hope he feels better.
Yeah, I hope so.
How does it?
I hope so too. But yeah,
Butterfingers.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, I don't know how you extract the tooth from the other side. That makes no sense. I mean, unless like, like if the jaw doesn't open wide enough.
Okay, I can. Yeah.
I mean, I could see it that way, but
Yeah.
man's got big ass lips like me. Like, just there's no way. There's no way. Like you would think to do that. But yeah, I don't know. But he's doing good. I worked with him just the other day, so he's fine. He just kind of. Like I said, just going through it at the moment. Got the stitches in, but that's all I got. That's the story I got for the day.
That's all I got. Thank you guys for listening.
Yes,
I guess I'm gonna clock out now.
You gonna go home too while you're
exactly. Yes.
He said that with such the straightest face, bro. So calm, cool, and collected. Like there was no emotion, like no anger, no nothing. He's just like, I'm just gonna go.
Well, hope you guys enjoy listening. We'll see you on the next episode.
Just make sure y'all don't clock out and go. Make sure you get your money. At least go sit down in the corner or some shit for 8 hours.
Right. Finish your shift first.
I'm gonna have a 6-pack, but my stomach hurts so bad.
Oh my god.
All right. I'm good.
Good. All right. You guys take it easy.
Yes.